Welcome back to the 2 Minute Warning, episode 312. Going to be talking about Justin Herbert and the Chargers yet again. Love talking about him and the Chargers. But first, question of the day. Justin Herbert this year broke the rookie record for touchdown passes in a single season. The question is, who previously held the record? Again, answer revealed at the end of the video, so please stick around. But Jay, Chargers bring a new head coach, of course, Brandon Staley from the Rams. A lot is looking up for that team, primarily their rookie going into his second year, phenomenal quarterback in Justin Herbert. Can this team make a playoff run next year in only his second year in the league?
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at the Los Angeles Chargers this year, they finished at a record of 7-9. However, they finished the season with a 4-game win streak. So no matter how your overall season ends, if you head into the offseason with a winning record and you head into the offseason on a high note, that could just build your entire aura and momentum of the team for the following season. So that's definitely something, not something to really rely on, but definitely an extra little factor, an extra little piece for the Chargers to enjoy and look forward to, because they found their success and finally clicked at the end of the season. I think they'll be able to start the season with that same kind of routine. And however, that 4-game win streak was with their old head coach, Anthony Lynn. Imagine what they could do with their new head coach, Brandon Staley. So I think the potential is there definitely for the Chargers next year. I am very bullish on the Chargers, and I do think they will make the playoff berth or get a playoff berth, but I even think they can make a deep playoff run. I do not think they will win the division and take down Patrick Mahomes and that Kansas City Chiefs dynasty just yet, for they might be a back-to-back Super Bowl champion just this year and could go on to win their third one next year. So I'm not going to give Justin Herbert the edge over Mahomes just yet. But I do think this Chargers team at 7-9 was really at the bottom of where they could have been, having one of the worst O-lines in the league, having one of the worst coaches in the league. And while their defense on paper is relatively stacked, in my opinion, it was one of the least healthy in the league outside of the 49ers. You didn't have your all-pro safety. Joey Bosa was healthy, but he kept getting banged up. Your corners kept getting banged up. Finally, you're going to get a coach that could teach that defensive team and hopefully get them together. While I do think they could have had success with Anthony Lynn if they were healthy, I think now once they are healthy and the talent is maximized, this Chargers team is going to look great. Looking at their schedule, of course, they're going to have 6 games in the division. They're going to play the Raiders twice, the Broncos twice, and the Chiefs twice. That's resulting in 6 of their 16 games. Then they play the NFC East division, so they get to play the Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, Washington football team, and then the AFC North, which is the Steelers, Browns, Bengals, Ravens, and then 2 random teams, Texans and Patriots. Looking at all that, not going through every game to bore you guys out, I do have them finishing roughly around 10-6. And we did see the Miami Dolphins fall out of the playoffs at 10-6 this year, so who's to say they'll still make it at that rate? But that 10-6 is just a ballpark number. Anything could change. They could go 8-8. They could go 12-4. Anything can change. I mean, we saw Philip Rivers go 12-4, 13-3 just 2-3 years ago against with the Chiefs in the division and still lost the division. So they can still do great and lose the division, but I definitely think they will make the playoffs, finally hopefully working on the O-line in the draft, maximizing the defense, and Justin Herbert finally being in the MVP conversation once he's past his rookie year.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what these Chargers can bring to the table in this coming season. The big thing for me is obviously the new head coach brings a lot of hope for Chargers fans, and even for us not huge Chargers fans, just excited to see what Herbert can do with them. You mentioned a lot of defensive injuries for the Chargers this year, including of course Bosa. With Staley bringing in, of course, was defensive coordinator for the Rams, who the best defense in the league. So I think history has shown a great defense will take your team farther than any other aspect of football.
Yeah, not to interrupt you, but I thought the year the Broncos and Panthers matched up, the Panthers I thought were on fire and going to win that year, but the Broncos defense shut them down, and defense won the championship that year. So it's definitely an important factor.
Absolutely. So when you pair a talented defense with a defense-oriented coach with a Rookie of the Year caliber, MVP caliber quarterback, that really equates to success in my mind. So I really like that. As Jay said, their schedule, including the NFC East, including the Texans, who are falling apart as we speak. That right there. And then, of course, in the division, I think they can go 2-0 against the Broncos, probably split with the Raiders.
Yeah.
And even if they get swept by the Chiefs, that's 3-3 in the division.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you count for optimistically 3 wins out of the NFC East, and then beat the Texans. So whatever, that's 9 wins. I'm looking at 9 wins realistically.
At minimum.
And at minimum, that's by realistically I mean bottom of the totem pole at 9 wins. So you look at this team, in my opinion, realistically 10-6.
Yeah.
With this 7-seed playoff format, was interesting to see this year with how many good teams there were right now going into the last week of regular season. There was like 5 teams that were 10-5 in the AFC. Yeah. So no guarantees at 10-6 getting the playoffs. But I'm looking forward to see what this Chargers team can do. And looking at their schedule, I think playoffs are super realistic.
Yeah, and we saw, like Carson said, Brandon Staley, a lot of his success came from that Rams defense, and a lot of the success from that Rams defense was because of them having a lockdown corner. While the Chargers have talent in their corners with Chris Harris Jr., he was a great corner, but he's getting a little old. Casey Hayward's kind of declined a little, and Derwin James, phenomenal talent and kind of best friends with Jalen Ramsey. However, Derwin James is a safety. I think Brandon Staley will be looking for a corner to add to this Chargers defense. That could be a number 1 guy, whether it be Patrick Peterson, Richard Sherman, whether it be trading up and drafting Patrick Surtain out of the NFL draft. I think this team is 1 corner away and finally a left tackle away that can give Justin Herbert just that split second extra to throw the ball to make them a deep playoff team. They're paying Brian Bulaga, a current guy on their offensive line, way too much for a guy that's always banged up and not really executing. Not his fault that he's hurt. Obviously, no one wants that. But dude is not being worth his money at the moment, so they either need to restructure or add an extra piece. So maybe you get a healthy Brian Bulaga and an extra tackle to protect Herbert and a shutdown corner for him to rely on the defense. And this team can go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes and maybe steal a game from him.
Yeah, that you make a good point there. Again, I'm just really looking forward to see what Staley can do. I have faith in Herbert coming out second year for Lamar, second year for Cardinals, Kyler, second year for Mahomes. That seems to be the golden year, and I see Herbert as, compared to those 3 guys in their second year, I think Herbert has more traits that reflect talent in the NFL as a passer. So I think Herbert, the sky's the limit for him.
Yeah, the potential's there.
It's really there. So, I mean, it's very, very realistic this team wins 10, 11 games next year.
Yeah, 100% agree.
All right, that's all for the video. Question of the day, for you guys still here waiting for it. The answer was Baker Mayfield. His rookie year, I believe, was 17 or 18. I think it was 18.
This was his 3rd year in the league.
Third year in the league. So 2018, his rookie year, Herbert broke his record. Thanks for watching, guys. 2-minute warning.
2 minutes.